Alright, so welcome back to Basin Motorsports. Today we're going to start wrapping the cowl section now that the hood is done. So what I've got laid out here is the cutoff piece. If you remember the width of the hood when I cut it last time, I ended up cutting a section off. Now this printed material here kind of matches the top of the hood, and what I want to do is to keep kind of the hood flow this way up through the cowl to make it all match. Unfortunate part of this is that the material itself is not the full width of the car. So what I'm going to have to do is use two pieces. Knowing that the grill that goes over the vent section here above the wipers is going to cover a section of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two pieces off of this. I'm going to lay this out. Now you can see I've got it laid out to where I've got a little bit of above and below. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically cut here across and use this as one piece. Now if I lean this back, you know that this is the main area in here for the cowl, and what it will do is this will be wrapped to a certain point, and then the section there will kind of come in over top, and then it will have a small overlap that I can hide and cover up by the grill itself. Now again, this is the cutter I've been using. Very easy, goes right in, bam, done. Now I can just kind of cut this off here. This area of the white I don't need. And then this area here, this will actually be stripped off. So this white edge, this will be cut off. Okay, so here are my two different pieces. So you can see this one has, it's almost just plain green, which is fine. It's going to be kind of weird, but when it transitions over, what you'll notice is that it's actually going to come out of the grill. So most of this is actually not going to be seen from the transition from kind of this splotchy speckled one over, which is okay. It's going to look fine. Now, all of this is cut oversized, and I had to kind of cut an angle on that one to get rid of a logo that was already printed on here. So, what I'm going to do now is basically I'm going to strip off the backing on this one. I'm going to wrap this side completely, and then I'm going to go to the other side, wrap it, and then I can start cutting out all the pieces, trimming the edges and that. Very simple, definitely going to be far less complicated than this hood. So, let's just go ahead and knock this out. Here's the kind of the getting towards the finish on the first piece. So you can see this wraps over the edge here. Now the fender obviously will come up to this edge here. So I've just heated it just to get the tension out of it and push it down. You can see it kind of feeds down in there into the cowl. Now remember, on the back side of this, the back side of there is a seal that can go there. I just don't have one on it. Now this is all smooth. I definitely need to cut out these areas, but just used a heat gun to basically take out the tension on the corners. All right, they're on the curl and that, and just use my glove. Same thing here. I need to cut the holes back so I can put the wiper back in, but you can see that's all form fit all the way around. Same way there, and I've done also against the base of the windshield here too with the heat. Now there's a couple wrinkles in here, but honestly, I'm skipping quality a little bit on this just because it gets covered up by the grill. Just under the hood, and it's just basically cut straight off. Again, use the heat just on this edge and just get it to form fit. Now the grill, remember the grill comes up and over. There's a screw hole in this, and then these holes right here are just for your seal and that. So if I replace the seal, all this stuff is going to be covered. So that's why I've kind of just cut it short, and then this gets covered also. So all this will be covered up by a seal or the grill itself. So you won't see all these holes, but if you do see it now, yeah, it's workable. Okay, so with this side done, completely wrapped, all I need to do basically now is just seal the edges with some tape. But I'm going to just finish this other piece, that way I can just run it all at one time. So this is going to be the same thing. I'm going to work from this side on the outside in, because I can make sure I can kind of spread all this out and make sure this is the best part. And then anything I kind of have trouble with, what I can do is basically shove it under the cowl grill and use that as an effective hiding tool. So just a trick, if you guys want to do that, you can, but you don't have to. All right, here we go. So with everything done now, obviously just using the heat gun and trimming out the edges. Now I just left myself about 3/8 of an inch flange of wrap there. Use the heat gun, especially in the corners, get it kind of relaxed. Tuck it down in there all the way around, make it nice and tidy. Now if I put all the pieces on here, you can kind of see. So the grill, this is the old one. I will probably clean it up. I'm probably going to buy a new one of these just to make it nice and fresh. But you can see obviously the carbon fiber wrap on the windshield pieces against the green. And there again, this is totally green. There's no pattern, but there's green there. And it really doesn't look that bad. I mean, it's different, yes, but there again, this car is different. So, what is it going to look like when the complete car is wrapped with satin jungle? It's going to look like this. So there again, I'll have to figure out which way is up, but you can see, is it going to match? It's going to be a dark green, or it can kind of be a blue and all that stuff. So there you go. There's the color tone. You've got the pink, purple, tan, green to dark green / silver, root beer, or anything else. Okay, so with that wrapped, now I need to move on to the next pieces, which I think is going to be the front doors. I think I'll do the doors next, just to do something different. But there you go. That's how you wrap the cowl and everything else now. I'm going to leave that, show my wife to see if she still hates it. She hates this graphic. That's okay. I dig it. So that's it. You guys have any questions on wrapping any of this stuff? I think the hood was probably the hardest piece. The cowl itself, it was a little bit of design just to try and figure out how to make it work. And I think you guys are really going to dig this when it's done. So any questions, comments, you know where to leave them below. Check them out, Facebook, Instagram, because I'm way ahead of when I'll release this out on YouTube. So that is it from Basin Motorsports. Thank you for watching. I love all your comments, whether you love the wrap or not. I dig that you guys are with me. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you next time.